with hazardous working conditions at DPW and a worker who died from overheating on the job, along with buildings across the city dealing with widespread AC issues, with some work orders taking months to complete.
The fundamental problem is leadership and accountability.
There's new calls for accountability.
We don't want people making excuses who lead our city.
Linda Batts is a community leader, but a few years ago she worked for the city on equity-related issues, largely with DPW.
The culture was so corrosive that employees were afraid to make complaints or to speak up because they were afraid of being blackballed, retaliated against.
She says her time with the city was short-lived.
I was told that my services were no longer necessary after having pointed out a number of very serious internal issues.
A series of Inspector General reports recently exposed a toxic culture at DPW, in part showing workers aren't given enough water, toilet paper, or even air conditioning. Batts says issues with DPW had some of these persistent problems for years.
It was not limited to DPW.
Through a public record request, we learned over 100 work orders submitted this summer from various city agencies to the Department of General Services have been sitting in the queue, waiting to be completed. Some for 50 days. Those work orders are related to hot buildings and broken ACs.
Good afternoon, everyone.
This happening at a time where city officials like Mayor Brandon Scott acknowledge the extreme summer heat.
Our temperatures in Baltimore are hotter now than they've ever been before.
We're talking about work orders like this one, where temps on several floors of the Charles Benton building were around 87 degrees. Or this urgent request from DPW saying a building at one of the landfills was, quote, unbearable with no air. Some cite health concerns, like this DPW request saying the AC doesn't work properly and a man has asthma. In July, MOED put in a request saying, quote, urgent, 5 floors full of staff. This makes the third AC unit to be down. Building has no air. And the list of requests go on, from libraries, police, and other city agencies.
Management has a fundamental obligation to bust through bureaucracy and create systems and protocols and channels that deal with exigent situations in real time. There's no excuse for it.
While the Department of General Services says they've been working to address the issues, they say in cases where cooling units need to be replaced, it can take several months for a replacement to arrive.
More needs to be done. We need to have, how about this, a backup plan.
In response to the DPW concerns coming to light, Wednesday, Mayor Brandon Scott said he's focused on changing the culture and investing in workers and facilities.
Anybody who's participating in treating our employees the wrong way or doing things like that, and we catch you, you will be held accountable.
And while Batts says she's hopeful there will be change.
Baltimore can be better, but it has to be better from the top down, supported by the bottom up.